You're welcome to this channel, Begin Soon with you today. So today I'm going to be taking us back to the olden days where there's no calculation, there's no just your markings, okay, to make your sleeve, perfect sleeve. Okay. I want to tell you that you don't have any reason not to start your business. You do not have any reason whatsoever not to start your own business. And then later I'm going to be telling us because I get a lot of request on my WhatsApp asking me, "Oh, Mama, the only setback I have is capital, capital, capital." Now I'm going to be telling you later in a video how you are going to start out your ready to wear business without capital. Without capital, the only thing you need is loyalty and being what truthful. This is my basic bodice. Okay, don't forget this is just for tutorial, so yours is going to be neater. Do you understand? So this is my basic bodice. This is the back and this is the front. I'm making a shirt, right? This is the front. So I'm supposed to add another, the other side here, but just for the sake of this tutorial I'm doing, I want to just use one side since I'm going to be using this side of the sleeve. Now know it that by the time I cut this sleeve, I will still use exactly that sleeve to cut this one. Your sleeve shouldn't be different. It should be together. Now I'm going to turn it. First thing you're going to do is join by ½ inch shoulder or anyhow, if it's shirt you are cutting, it's going to be like this, right? Shebi, Okay, now I want to assume that I'm making a normal basic gown. So you just understand the basic. Then when you are making your shirt, you know how to place it. Now, what this does for you, this style does for you is one, it saves you time. Two, it saves fabric. Yes, so let's go into it. Now, the first thing you're going to do is to join your shoulder, which I have done. I have joined my shoulder. Then I'm going to turn it this way. I have joined my shoulder, then I turn it this way. Now, do you know the reason why I turn it this way? Because while cutting for the sleeve, I want to use the back pattern. Now, after you have finished using the back pattern, you're now going to just trim out the front pattern from the sleeve. Do you understand? You trim out that ½ inch. But for now, I want to use this. Now, look at how it's going to be. You will just fold your fabric, okay? Fold your fabric the way you fold for your sleeve. It's into two. Fold your fabric. So there will be no joining here. This place will be folded this way. Do you understand? Fold from this side down. Now you are going to place it under your fabric. Have you seen what I've done? You're going to place it under your fabric. Now, you see this joining, this ½ inch joining, that is where this material will start from, like so. Now, that is where it's going to start from because there's no joining here on the sleeve. The only joining you have is on the bodice. The sleeve does not have joining. So for that reason, you will make sure that it started from here. Do you understand? Now, another thing you are going to take care of is that this our shoulder was slanting, right? So you make sure that you don't place your fabric like so straight. You make sure you follow it slanting too. Can you see? So follow it slanting like that. Don't go and put your fabric straight. If you put your fabric straight, by the time you are done cutting and sewing, there will be a gapping around this area, around the area here. Do you understand? So if you want it to sleep well, make sure you follow the slanting of the shoulder while placing your fabric. The next thing for you to do is mark a straight line from here down using your chalk. Then you mark the midpoint. Then you get the midpoint. Now this is my midpoint, right? Now I'm going to come in by ½ inch around here. Okay. Now you're going to still mark half of this half again. Okay. And you will come in by like ½ inch again. Now look at what you are going to do. Just very simple. Make it, curve it out like so. You take it up here. You take it up here. You bring it down here and you cut it like so. Do you understand? Cut from here you take it straight on the straight line, then on getting to the midpoint you start coming out, then here you start coming down. Okay, now let me tell you, whether you get it correctly or you do not get it correctly, don't worry, this sleeve is going to lap very well. That is all. Now you are going to mark the length of your sleeve, the length that you want of this sleeve. Okay, now the length that you want to mark, let's assume you want to make it 10 inches. You are going to mark, so if I want my sleeve to be 10 inch, I will place my tape around here, which is the edge of the, and measure 10 inch, and I want to assume that my 10 inch is right here. Do you understand? Another thing you are going to do is to make sure, okay, to make sure that you do not make mistake in this marking of this sleeve length. If not, one side will be longer than the other. So how are you going to do that? Remember that this, you started to mark this 10 inch from here, so we are going to mark, while you were plotting your draft, make sure that you marked here. Do you understand? So I will now know that this is where I'm going to be placing my tape to measure another 10 inch. Do you understand? Because this is where the sleeve started from, so, and this is where the armhole started from, so this is where it ended, that made us to curve it out here when we were plotting this particular bodies. Do you understand? So this is where we are still going to place our tape and make sure that we get that 10 inch. Okay, 10 inch, and then we rule. Can you see? Now this is where our sleeve length got us to. Okay, so we are going to, from here you mark 1 inch and come in by like a little bit of quarter inch. Do you understand? So you are going to connect like so, connect like so, connect like so, and you curve out. That is all. Then you cut this out, and I tell you that this is your sleeve with 2 inches allowance. Do you understand? With 2 inches allowance, this is your perfect sleeve. So you are going to be cutting this into two places. Okay, the right side for and the left side. You cut this for the two places. Now let me go ahead and fix it so that you will see the after effect of this sleeve. So this is the sleeve while it's open. Do you understand? Let's go ahead to fix it on the bodies now. Okay, so I have fixed the sleeve, and this is my sleeve right here. Now there was something I didn't observe when I was plotting that sleeve. Okay, you know I cut it exactly on the markings I made. No, you have to add half inch as you have plotted it. Okay, when you did your markings, when you are cutting out, shift your hand inside like half inch for this sewing allowance. Do you understand? So let's turn it inside out. Let's see how it has come out. This pattern can be used for your street wears, and you will get exactly what you are looking for. No stress. Okay, no stress. Can you see? This is your sleeve bending, slanting very well. Can you see? The curve still being maintained. Can you see? Okay, so why I didn't talk about trimming out the front before, is so that you will see the effect that even though you did not trim it out, there is no problem. You understand? So far it's a free shirt, it doesn't really matter. But then you can go ahead to trim out the sleeve area for the front. Okay, so this is basically how to make your sleeve pattern without calculation at all, without calculation. And I tell you, it will go perfectly well. It will go perfectly well. This is how to make your sleeve without much adding. No too much story, no too much English, and your sleeve pattern is done. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video.